Regional Economic Advisor at the Inter-American Development Bank, David Rosenblatt, is advising Guyanese and other regional economies that it is not a disservice to the country should it look to borrow money to invest, particularly in infrastructural projects during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. His comments come on the heels of a new report by the IDB which urges Guyana and other Caribbean economies to invest in infrastructure as a means of securing economic growth once COVID-19 subsides.
It's okay to borrow right now. Uh, Lots of countries around the world are doing that, and and it's kind of what everyone's doing. You can't do it forever, but I think markets understand, and certainly the multilaterals are doing everything that we can to deploy as much resources as possible at very favorable terms, so that borrowed resources are okay to use for high return, high productivity, and efficiently designed infrastructure projects.
Rosenblatt acknowledged that countries across the world are looking at creative ways to get out of the crisis brought on by COVID 19 and has endorsed the report, a pandemic surge, and evolving policy responses. Just as the report has done, he acknowledged that fiscal space is a constraint. He supported the contention that as a nascent economic recovery emerges, additional resources should be channeled to high productivity infrastructure products to further stimulate growth.
This type of crisis puts a premium on the quality and efficiency of public spending, right? So, one place where some space can be found is in eliminating programs that are not necessarily going to help the recovery and channel those resources to things that will help the recovery. So, one can think of things like maybe subsidies uh, for fuel, in which some countries are considering reducing in the post-COVID period in order, and those resources then could be used for more of the pro-growth infrastructure investment.
The economic advisor said the IDB understands its role in these unprecedented times and continues to share information and ideas in creative ways as a means to assist in the recovery. Notwithstanding this, Rosenblatt believes that Guyana is in a privileged position, being the only country in the Caribbean and Latin America experiencing positive economic growth in 2019. He pointed to the resources constraint that other countries face and said that while it is not the case for Guyana, the real challenge is managing the boom that is currently occurring.
Guyana is in a privileged position. It's really the only country in Latin America and the Caribbean region that is experiencing positive economic growth in 2020. The only one, right? So some of these resource constraints that many other countries are facing are not the case for Guyana. The real challenge is how to manage the boom that is occurring as we speak. And in that regard, sort of the big picture issue, not getting into too many nitty gritty details, is this issue of converting hydrocarbon wealth into human capital, people, right? People skills, physical capital, infrastructure, and other physical capital, and even financial capital. Through the type of arrangements that you have already put in place with a sovereign wealth fund, natural resource fund, to save financial wealth for future generations. And that's kind of the big long-term challenge. And in the short run, it's kind of a bridge to getting to that longer-term vision.
The IDB report expressed the belief that once the investment is made in infrastructure over time, this drives higher levels of private investment incomes and consumption. Kurt Campbell, Newsroom.